Hello, it's Marika Lake here. I live on the west coast of Australia with my hubby Greg, and we homeschool our 4 kiddos. We have Will, who's in grade 8, Em is in grade 4, Cruz is in grade 2, and little Jackson is in pre-primary. And we have been homeschooling for 4 years here in the Lake House Homeschool. In today's video, I am going to do a review of the Oceans unit study from Gather Round Homeschool, which we have recently just wrapped up here in the Lake House Homeschool. Now, if you wanted a flip through or a look inside of this beautiful curriculum, I have done one of those videos and it is up on my channel. So I will fly a card up the top of this video and pop a link in the description box down below so that you can click on that and go and have a look inside this beautiful curriculum if you wanted to have a look at it, as well as listen to my thoughts about the curriculum. We absolutely loved this unit study. It has been the favourite one, our most favourite one that we have done so far from Gather Round Homeschool. And I think we loved it because we are a family who is on the ocean and in the water all the time. We are lucky enough to live by the beach and we enjoy going snorkeling. We have a boat that we go out on, we go fishing. We've got lots of beautiful beaches. Lots of beaches with reefs to go snorkeling on, to go body surfing, all of the things. And in the summer, in the warmer months, that is what we do all the time. We are at the beach all the time, like 4 to 5 times a week, we are out on the water. And the ocean just really interests us and it really interests my children. And I think that's why we loved this unit study the most, because it is something that we are really interested in. And so that's something I really recommend if you are doing Gather Round Homeschool, or even if you're first starting out, I really do recommend that you pick the unit studies that you know that you're going to love, because then your children are really going to enjoy the experience. And so I think that's probably added to this unit, is that we absolutely love learning about ocean animals. We're in the ocean all the time. And so we had some real hands-on learning going on with this unit study. How our day would look when we were using the unit study is that we would all gather round and sit together on the couch, and I would read from the teacher's guide. Now I have a Apple computer, an Apple laptop, and Apple TV, and so what I actually do is cast the teacher's guide from my laptop to the TV so that all my children can see the beautiful illustrations that are in this teacher's guide as I am reading aloud. Another element that we loved about this curriculum was all of the videos that we watched along with reading from the teacher's guide. So if you didn't know this about Gather Round, on their website, they also have an app as well that you can download on your phone. They have compiled videos for every single unit study and for every single lesson. So what I was able to do was go, this is a year 1 unit study, I believe. I was able to go into the ocean section in the extra resources and listed every week. They had compiled videos from the internet and from YouTube that went along with each lesson. And so instead of me having to scour the internet myself or scour YouTube to find great videos to go along with the lessons that we're learning, Gather Round and people who use the curriculum have already compiled those videos for you. And so I love this feature about Gather Round Homeschool. So what we would do is we would sit and I would read aloud from the teacher's guide, and then we would sit and watch all of the videos. And it was just a really great way to cement what we had already read about. My children are visual learners, and so being able to see the sea animal that we were learning about on a video in its environment was really, really cool. That was my favorite, that was my kids' favorite part of this unit study, was actually sitting and watching all of those videos together. This is a all-in-one curriculum. It is a grab and go curriculum. All you need to teach the unit study is the teacher's guide and then the student's own individual workbooks. And that's all you need to do the unit study. Access to the internet is really great because sometimes when the older children are doing their notebooking pages, they need to look things up on the internet. But it is a grab and go curriculum, and it has everything included except math. You just need to add in the subject of math, but it includes everything else. It has your language and literacy. It has science, history, geography, art, Bible. It is all thrown in there, and I love that about this curriculum. And so you don't have to add anything else in, but of course I always love to add in extra things into my unit studies. Some things I add in which are purely for fun. We add fun, extra art projects in and things like that because they're super fun. And I do add in some select things to make the curriculum work for our family. Now, we are an Australian family and we're using a Canadian/American curriculum. So I do add into the unit studies that we do Australian history, and I add in some extra art just for fun, and I do add in any extra things where I feel like my children are struggling. So if my child is struggling with the area of spelling, then I always add in extra spelling for them, or if they're struggling with writing, I add extra things in. But other than that, it is a grab and go curriculum. But what I will do is I will show you all of the fun things and all of the books that I grabbed and added in to using this awesome curriculum. So this is our homeschool space, and what I like to do when we start a new unit study is dress it up, so to speak, with things that go along with that unit study. And so as you can see, I've got some beautiful posters on the wall. I'll give you a close-up of those soon, but I've got beautiful posters on the wall that are ocean themed. I've got seashells there as well, and then I also have this shelf that I wanted to show you. I have this shelf set up in particular for my younger boys, and I will change this shelf out each term or each unit study with things that go along with what we are learning about. And so I'll just show you what I've popped on the shelf for the oceans unit study. So here I just pulled out all of the books from our homeschool library that have got to do with the ocean. We have got storybooks in there as well. I'll give you a closer look of those ones in a little bit, but I have books on the top here. And then we have this nature tray of things we found at the beach. So we've got feathers here that we have found. These are pelican feathers, and our collection of seashells and starfish. We actually have lots of seashells, as you will see, because my grandparents actually used to be lighthouse keepers, and they actually collected all of these seashells. So that's why we have so many beautiful shells. Down here we have this wooden stacking rainbow that the boys get out and use for different things. And then in these boxes here, again, we have a shell collection. The boys like to get those down and play with those as well. And then here we have kinetic sand, so they like to play with that. We have another nature tray here filled with bips and bops that we've collected and that they can also play with. And then on the bottom shelf, we have this basket here that's full of sea animals. And they play with these all the time. They love those sea animals. And what they usually do is they get that wooden rainbow down and build things and then play with the sea animals in what they've built. And same with those wooden blocks there as well. Now we've got another 2 wooden boxes here. At the beginning of the unit study, this top wooden box was actually empty. And these are the shells that we've actually found over the course of while we have been doing the unit study, and we found a whole lot more that they haven't added to there. So that's their current collection that they made. And then under there, they've just got their rock collection as well. They love to collect rocks when we're out and about. And so we bring them home and put them in there as well. So the idea of this shelf is that it is here for my 2 younger boys. My daughter uses it as well. They will use the things on this shelf for normal just playtime, but they will use it during school time. So if they have a little bit of time where they're waiting for me to help them, and I'm working with another child, they can get down and from the table and then just come and use the things on the shelf. They can read a book, they can play with the seashells and the sea animals and things like that. So it's just a fun thing to add into the unit studies. We've got more wonderful seashells just as decorations over here. This is the biggest one that we have. Once again, my grandparents found that when they were lighthouse keepers, but we just love having these little decorations around the house. And I wanted to show you an up close of these beautiful posters. This one is the Reef Life poster, and I actually just purchased this from Kmart Australia. They're really inexpensive. They've got a whole collection of them. If you've seen my Creepy Crawlies unit study, you would have seen that we had bugs and butterflies up here as well, but it's beautiful. It's like a material with a wood hanger there. And so we have two. We have the Reef Life one, and then we have this Ocean Life one too, which is really great. My children have actually really enjoyed looking at these posters. Each time that we studied a new animal, they would look to see if we had that on the wall, and they would use it as a reference for what it looked like and painting it and drawing it and things like that. So I really like those posters. Again, I will link those in the description box down below, but I did just get them from Kmart Australia, and we just like them. They're really cute. So I'm just going to run quickly through all of the books that we have used while studying this unit study. Now, we love books here in the Lake House Homeschool, and we've got a lot of books, lots of different kind of books, because we have different ages. So we've got board books, story books, information books, because I have a high school all the way down to a pre-primary kiddo. So we've collected lots of books over the years, and I just have my books on bookshelf in my lounge room and some in the kids' room. And basically all I did was kind of go around and gather all of the books that were ocean themed and just put them all onto that shelf, as you saw in the clip that I showed you before. So I'll just give you a really quick overview of the books that we've been using. And some of these books do have flip throughs on my channel. I do book flip throughs on my channel. I love to show people books and what's inside of them so that you can get a better look for yourself. So check out my playlist for book flip throughs. I'll pop a link in the description box down below if you wanted a closer look at any of the books that I'm about to show you. I love to read my children's stories, and they love listening to me read. My daughter, who is in grade 4, also loves to read to her younger brothers. So we did have a collection of storybooks that I pulled out and popped on the shelf. We just have Tiddler. We have lots of Octonauts books. Now, my kids have always been Octonauts crazy and have watched it from a young age. And there's lots of Octonauts episodes that go along with the Oceans unit study as well. And as I said, my children have been watching it for years. So when it would come to learning about animals, they already knew a lot. And I'm like, how did you know that about, say, the bowhead whale? And they're like, we saw it on Octonauts. And so I do really recommend checking out the show Octonauts. And we just had some storybooks from the Octonauts show, because my kids are mad keen on Octonauts. So they've been really good. Of course, the classic rainbow fish, and this cute book. I've had this for years from when I was teaching, called Commotion in the Ocean. This was really great too. And then we also had these books for the younger kiddos. We love Osborne books, and we had these ones. We have just this Osborne Peep Inside the Sea, which is just a cute lift the flap book. We had the Osborne Look Inside Seas and Oceans, which is another flat book that's kind of like a step up from the other one that I showed you. And then we have this one, which is Sea Inside Oceans. I love the Osborne books because the images are always beautiful, and they're just really good quality books. If your kids are hard on books, the Osborne ones are really great. They're really, really well made. So we've got that one as well. I recently purchased this book especially for the unit study, because I knew that we would be doing lots of beach trips and collecting shells, and we already had shells at home, and so I really wanted like a book so that we could identify the different shells that we have. And this is called the Beachcomber's Companion, and this is a beautiful little book. So we've got that one. And then of course, Ocean Anatomy, which is from Julia Rothman, her anatomy series. This is a gorgeous book. I've done a flip through of this one if you wanted a closer look inside. This was super helpful to have. Then we have the big book series. There's a few, about 5 in this series, and we've got the Big Book of the Blue. Again, this is another one that just has beautiful images. So we would often get this out when we were doing our artwork to have a look at the images and possibly like copy the painting style and the colors. So we really enjoy this book. We just got a Discover Sharks book. I think I actually picked this up from the op shop on one of my many trips. And so my little boys enjoy learning about sharks. I got this is actually a sticker book. It's called the Ocean Sticker Activities Book. It's a Hinkler book. I think this series is becoming quite popular. I got it from Kmart Australia maybe 1 or 2 years ago. But my youngest Jack, who's in pre-primary, he absolutely loved this book. So it is a book with great information and great pictures, but it comes with all these stickers at the beginning. And then you find the sticker and match it to the pages as you're going along. And he just loved doing this. So we worked our way through the book, putting all the stickers in. And then what would happen is when we would learn about a new ocean animal, he would get all excited and run and find his sticker book to find, you know, the sticker where he'd put it, and he just poured over this book every single day we did homeschool. As you can see, the pages are starting to come apart because he's used it so much. Who would have thought that I think it was only like a $4 book. The $4 book would spark so much joy in my little boy, but he absolutely adored that one. Then we have this DK Find Out About Oceans. These books are great. I think this was only like $4.50 from Kmart Australia, and just great information. These kind of books are great to have around because there's always a writing project within the unit study where you need to do some research, and so these books can be handy specifically for my daughter in grade 4, my son in grade 2, to come and find information. So I always have these kind of books on my bookshelf. And then we have this beautiful ocean book. Again, I've got a flip through of this one on my channel as well. My 2 younger boys really enjoyed looking at this book. It's really quite beautiful, but also very informative as well. So this is another great book. I'm so glad we added this one to our collection. Another thing that we added extra work into the unit study was actually nature journaling and extra art projects. Now, art projects are included in every single lesson. They get you to draw the one ocean animal that you learnt about that day. But my children love doing artwork, and so we added in some extra art activities every week, sometimes every day. They just love doing art. So basically I have these, my kids each have one of these. My oldest son doesn't. He's not as interested in art anymore. He is in grade 8. But my daughter and then my 2 young sons each have a book like this, which is just like a activity book. And we keep all of their artwork in here. And then I have stands that I put in the homeschool space so that when they've done some artwork, instead of tearing it out, we just pop the book on the stand so that it can be displayed. Just because I like to keep everything together is why we kind of keep it in a book so I don't have heaps of artwork lying around and things like that. So we did some beautiful artwork during this unit study, and I was using Masterpiece Society, which is a art program which is online, and it's an excellent program. We got some of the ideas from there, but other than that, we would just come up with our own. We would just do, so this is a jellyfish, we would just paint the animal that we had learnt about, and it was so fun to do art in the afternoons together. So relaxing and so enjoyable. So that was art. And then we have each of my kids, even my older son in grade 8, also has a nature journal. And we did lots of nature journaling during this unit study. Now we're a family, we are lucky enough to actually live by the beach and actually surrounded by lots of beautiful beaches that provide lots of different beach experiences. We have beaches that are just perfect for swimming. We have beaches that have lots of great snorkeling spots. We have beaches to go body surfing. We've got it all, and we are so lucky, and I know that. And we did this unit study in March and February when it's still really hot here in Western Australia, we were at the beach all the time. And so we would, when we were at the beach, if we saw dolphins, we would take note of it. You know, if we found shells, we would bring them home. If we went snorkeling, we'd remember what we saw when we were snorkeling, or we would take photographs of things. And then we would come home and do this nature journaling at home. So I don't do the nature journaling when we're out and about in nature. I wait until we just enjoy that experience. And then when we get home, we will add it to our nature journal. So we just have these little sketchbooks. Each of my children have one of these little books, and we were just doing our nature journaling in here. So this is one when we were at the beach, and I just took a photo and brought it home, and then they recreated it by painting it. And so there were rocks here. This was the color of the ocean, and this is the sky. And then I made notes with them while I was at the beach. I just said to them, hey, what do you see? What do you hear? What do you smell? What do you feel? And I made the notes on my phone. And then when they came home, they copied them onto their artwork. And we went swimming with dolphins. So when we came home, I got them to paint a dolphin, and they just told me about their experience, and I wrote it down for them. We also swam with a stingray, which was incredible. And so the same thing. So when we got home, they painted it, recounted to me what they saw, what they felt, and then I would write it down for them. Now, I just wanted to note, the reason I have done the writing here is because the nature journaling activities are often done at the end of the day. We've been out at the beach, we've come home, we've done our unit study, and now we're doing some artwork. And by the time we get to that point, my kids have just had enough of writing sometimes. And so I don't want to force them. I want to get good quality work out of them. So I just get them to tell me, and then I write it down for them. And sometimes that's just easier to do it that way, so that we're still enjoying the activity and not forcing them to do something they don't want to do. Because they have already done writing during the day. If we haven't done writing during the day, then they will quite happily do the writing themselves. But I just wanted to kind of explain why we were doing that. Then we found some seashells, brought them home, and she's just done some drawings and paintings of the things that she found at the beach. So that's just our simple way of doing nature journaling, and it just went really, really well, obviously, with doing the oceans unit study. As I said, the unit studies are all inclusive. It has all of the learning areas included in the unit studies except math. And so we add in math. For my grade 2 kiddo and my grade 4 kiddo, we are using the Simply Good and the Beautiful math. And we really enjoy using this math program. The bonus of it as well is actually free to download. You can purchase a hard copy, but here in Australia, shipping is just crazy. So it's so great that they have a free download. So I've just printed those out, my kids are slowly working their way through that. And then my older son, who is in grade 8, he actually uses mathonline.com.au, which is an online math program. We've been using that ever since we started homeschooling, and that's a really great program as well. So he uses Math Online, and then the two middle kids, they use the Good and the Beautiful math. I have added in spelling for my daughter just because I feel like she needs some extra help with spelling, and I feel that spelling was a little bit lacking in the Oceans unit study. So we use these targeting spelling workbooks, and this is grade 4. These books are really inexpensive. I think I bought it from Big W here in Australia, and it only cost me like $10 or $12, and they're great because they have one for every age group in the pre-primary school years. So we've been using these ever since we started homeschooling, and they're just really easy workbooks that are really easy to slot in with the unit study. And then also I add in Australian history. Because the unit study is Canadian/American, it's important that I add Australian history with the unit studies so that I'm make sure that I'm keeping up with the Australian curriculum. So we just use these History Now workbooks. They're Australian curriculum aligned, and these are super easy. Just takes, no longer than 10 minutes to kind of do an activity from this, so it's really easy to slot in with the unit study. I have flip throughs of these History Now workbooks, and so I'll pop a card up the top and some links in the description box down below if you wanted to have a closer look at these history workbooks. Thank you so much for watching my video today. I hope that you found that helpful. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I love it if you would just hit the red subscribe button down below and hit that bell notification next to the subscribe button, and that will give you a notification of when I post here on my channel. And don't forget to like my videos. It really helps me out. And if you have any questions at all, please leave a comment in the comments box down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.